एक समोलोगिस्ते तो किरियो ते आगातो saleluia.
Otis tonne na to eleo saftu hallelujah.
All right, shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah? Or you want to take a break? Or you want to do it now?
Well, we've got the cameras here, innit?
Oh, yeah.
If we take a break, then they'll go somewhere else.
Go on, time it now. Time it now.
How long each?
2 minutes each.
So what's the topic?
No, he wants to debate it. Yeah, he wants to debate.
What's the topic?
And you need, what's the topic you want to debate?
I have a list of topics I want to talk about today. I'm just picking which one should I talk about. No, yeah. Let me see what I fancy today. I want to talk about child marriage in Islam.
Child marriage in Islam.
Yeah. Are you okay with discussing that? I'll be fair to you.
Yeah.
I won't talk about something that you have little knowledge in.
Yeah, sure, but we have to have our what do you call it? Our parameters. No blasphemy. That's all I'm asking. Right?
Sure. People who know me in this park know that I'm respectful when it comes to these things. Yeah? All right, so what I'm going to do is, I need a bit more time for my opening.
How long?
Maybe 4 minutes.
And then would you allow him to respond 4 minutes and then we go back?
And then we just go back and forth.
Like 5 minutes each.
Oh, okay, 5 minutes.
5 minutes each.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
No, there's more repetition.
Actually, can we stick to 3 minutes?
Let's do meet in the middle. Let's do 4.
No. The original was 2. The proposal is now 5.
Yeah, but
3 is in the middle.
okay,
Three's in
but
the middle, yeah.
Go on, I'll let you go on.
okay, give me a
Mine
second.
is simple, isn't it? My reply to that is simple. So it's not going to take me that long.
So it's on you. 3 or 4 minutes.
Let's stick to this. My reply is not going to be that long.
Yeah.
3 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Let me know.
Give me a second, right?
And then we got to pray. Including you. I know you. Just let me know whenever you're ready. Something about Q&A or what?
So give me 1 second, yeah?
Do on the top. What topic do you know off the top of your head?
No, I want to make sure that the sources are there as well.
Allah is spirit.
Yeah, I want to make sure the sources are there. All right, so I'll tell you when I'm ready, yeah? Give me a second.
How do you know there's a creation?
This guy might interrupt us though, yeah?
No, sorry. I won't engage.
So I want to talk about, in order for me to actually have this discussion with you, in order for me to actually have this discussion with you, I'm talking,
No, I'm
in
listening.
order for me to have, what's your actual, can I first clarify? Because if I'm going to debate this topic, and he's in agreement with me,
Does Allah have a
then it's a waste of time.
Yeah, no, but we'll find that out.
Does Allah have a
Okay.
body? That's the question.
So start again. Let me start again.
But I'm quite sure I would agree with a lot of
Does
things
Allah
you
have a
say.
body?
Okay, yeah, sure.
But it's up to you. You want to change the topic?
No, I'm happy to change it, yeah. Start again, yeah?
How do you know? How do you know?
Right, but this guy's going to be a distraction.
Unless you saw him.
Start. I'll tell you when I'm starting. I'm telling you when I speak. Start. Yeah.
Can you
A woolly
No,
man.
don't. He will get worse. He'll get worse. All right. So what I want to talk about is child marriage in Islam. Does Islam teach child marriage? Absolutely yes. I'm going to focus first on the Quran, and then I'm going to go to the Hadith where I talk about Muhammad and his marriage to Aisha, who was a child at the time. So first, if you read in Surah 65, verse 4, it says, "As for your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months, and those who have not menstruated as well." That's the key statement. "As for those who are pregnant, their waiting period ends with delivery, and whoever is mindful of Allah, He will make their matters easy for them." Now this is a very controversial statement, because it says here that those who have not menstruated as well, right, is referring to those who have not menstruated because of their young age, which means that the children would be having to observe an iddah period. Now what is the iddah? The iddah is something that is prescribed to those who have been married, to females who have been married. It's a waiting period before divorce is made final. So if someone who is a female who has not yet reached the age of menstruation is required to observe an iddah, then that must mean that they must have been a child who is married to a man Another thing about the iddah period as well is that it's only applicable when the marriage has been consummated. That means then that if a child is in a marriage and is required to observe the iddah period, then that means the child has had sexual relations in that marriage. The purpose for the iddah is so that the female doesn't conceal pregnancy before moving to the next husband. So this is the practicalities of the iddah. So it's based on the woman or the female or the child in this case having sex with the husband. Now if we look at the tafsir of Al-Jalalain, tafsir of Ibn Kathir, tafsir of Ibn Abbas, how long do I have, sorry? It says in the tafsir of Ibn Abbas, and for such of your women as despair of menstruation because of old age, if you doubt about their waiting period, their period of waiting shall be 3 months. Upon which another man asked, O Messenger of Allah, what about the waiting period of those who have no menstruation because they are too young? Along with those who have it not because of young age, their waiting period is 3 months. So even in the tafsir of Ibn Abbas, we get a hadith about Muhammad who confirms himself that those, when it says that those who have not yet menstruated, is referring to those who are too young to menstruate, meaning that men can be married to children in Islam and have sex with them. And this is exactly what we saw Prophet Muhammad do to Aisha, who was 6 when he married her, the legal contract, and 9 when he consummated it, and we'll talk about that more, and she was a child.
Okay, so the legal contract in Islam, the marriage legal contract is when you contract the marriage, it's like betrothal. And then the consummation is like the marriage. That's the equivalency of the modern day terms. It's similar in Judaism as well. They have the contract and then they have the consummation. Now, I'm not speaking to an atheist. I'm not speaking to a secularist. I'm speaking to a Christian. What I expect from Christians when arguing with the Muslims is that they use biblical sources. You will not find a minimum age of consent in the Bible. You won't. In fact, the Bible says, do as the Pharisees say. Do not do as they do. The Pharisees follow what? They follow the Torah. The Torah and the Mishnah and mention the age of a woman can get married is as young as 3 years old. In fact, in Nida it speaks about the sexual intercourse of one who is under 3 years and 1 day. A father, you can say shake your head, but it's there. A father can give away the daughter in marriage. Now you'll notice this polemic from Christians about child marriage, never existed before the 19th and the 20th century. Why is it that it never existed? Because they themselves were engaged in it. Augustine in his Confessions says that he fell in love with a girl who was the age, if I remember correct, 9 years old. Now someone might come around and say, what is the age of consent in Christianity? 12 years old. He'll probably defend 12 years old. So he said what he's had to say, so I don't know. Let's hear what he says the age of consent in Christianity based in the Bible is. He won't find it. Because he doesn't want to argue from the point of Christianity. He wants to argue from the point of secularism. But I'm not speaking to atheists. How much time? So I want him, Timothy, to explain his point of view as a Christian. Explain also how Rebecca married Isaac at the age of 3 years old in the Old Testament. Explain to me what the age of Mary was when God, you say, incarnated in the womb of a girl who is said to be 12 years old when she left the care of Zechariah. Because she was at that point told to leave the temple. And it was at that point that she got pregnant. So how old are girls when they're not allowed to be at the temple? And that's when Jesus, apparently, according to you, who is God, entered into the womb of Mary. And she was already betrothed to Joseph. So you need to, as a Christian, argue from Christianity, not secularism.
Time up.
Notice that he didn't refute any of the points that I made. So I'm assuming that he agrees with everything that I said about child marriage in Islam. I'm assuming that because he never said anything about it, he never said anything against it. All he said is, what about this? What about that? And he's factually wrong, right? So if you want to talk about the Bible, if you want to talk about the age of marriage in the Bible or child marriage in the Bible, then we can have that in a separate debate. I'll offer you that in a separate debate. What I want to know is this. Does Islam teach child marriage? Now, since I've got more time, I'll go through more hadiths, or I'll go through the hadiths. In Sahih Muslim, hadith number 1422a, it teaches that Aisha was 6 when she married Muhammad, that's the legal contract, and that she was 9 when she was admitted to his home. Within the same hadith, it says that she was playing on swings with her playmates. In another hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 5133, it says that Aisha was 6 when she married Muhammad, the legal contract, and she was 9 years old when he consummated the marriage with her. Now, and that's me putting it nicely. 9 years old, and it says that she remained with him until his death, which was a further 9 years, meaning that she was 18 when she died. When Muhammad died, sorry. In Sunan an-Nasai, hadith number 3378, if I'm not mistaken, it says that Aisha was 6 when she married Muhammad, the legal contract, and that she was 9 when he consummated the marriage, and she used to play with the dolls. So at those ages, she used to play with the dolls. In hadith number, in Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 6130, it says that Aisha used to play with the dolls in the presence of Muhammad, and then her girlfriends would run away or leave the room whenever he would come in. And then it goes on to say that the playing of the dolls was permissible for Aisha because she had not yet reached the age of puberty, meaning that it was allowed for girls to play with dolls who had not reached puberty. So what do we know about Aisha at the age of 9? That she had sex with Muhammad, she was playing on swings, and she was playing on dolls. She had not yet reached the age of puberty. Therefore, the Islamic prophet Muhammad, who they claim is the greatest man ever, was someone who was known to have sex with a child. And this person, right, whom he had sex with, Aisha, she never bore any of his children. And that makes sense because when you have sex with a pubescent child, you damage their internals.
10 seconds.
So I want him to answer me about what I said in the Quran about child marriage and about Aisha. Confirm your position. Stop running to my Bible. We can talk about that after.
Okay, now notice I said this in the beginning. I'm not arguing with the secularist. I'm not arguing with the atheist. He has to, as a Christian, show me the standard that he's going to. Notice that he tried to squeeze the debate and say, no, you must only speak about this topic. No, the topic you said was about child marriage. So we're going to speak about, from your point, this topic you chose, as well as my point. Notice I told you that Jesus says, follow what the Pharisees say and not what they do. And what do the Pharisees say? In the book of Nida in the Torah, it says that the child who has had sex at the age of 3 years old and 1 day, he didn't engage with that. According to their tradition, under their law, a child can get married at the age of 12. At 12, that's the Justinian laws. He doesn't know about this because he's a secularist now. Yeah? At the age of 12 years old. Is there a difference between 9 and 12? Would you say 12 is okay? You can answer that in your own time. But by his own definition, he would be in problem. But he doesn't want to hold his own definition. He believes Jesus, the Almighty, God, according to him, came in the womb of Mary, who was how old when she was pregnant with him? 12 years old. He's got a problem. Why is God impregnating a woman at the age of 12 years old? Why is he coming through her belly and through her canals? And that's me not being explicit. Was she not playing with dolls at 12 years old? Huh? So what about Augustine, one of the church fathers? What about Augustine? He doesn't want to answer anything. He said he fell in love in his confessions. He's got a book called The Confessions. He fell in love with a girl who was young. And you would call him a what? But you can't, because these are the traditions in Christianity. I mentioned that this argument was never charged by Christians before the 19th and the 20th century. Why? Because it was accepted in every single society that when a girl reaches puberty, this was the age of marriage. When Mary was pregnant, they say, with Jesus, God Almighty, that she was also betrothed to Josephus. Joseph, sorry. How? If Christianity doesn't allow it, why is God coming to, the belly of a woman who's already betrothed? Show me from the Bible. You are not a secularist. You are not an atheist. I am a Muslim. I tell you, throughout history, every culture, every tribe, every single year, people have accepted marriage at the age of puberty.
10 seconds.
Notice, you give it up his time?
I'll give him the time.
Yeah. Notice that he hasn't refuted me on any of the points that I've made. This is about child marriage in Islam. I'm not talking about the Bible. If he wants to have that discussion, we can have that discussion after. I'd be more than happy to talk about it. I've actually been hoping to talk about it with somebody. So please, let's have a discussion after about this particular topic, if you're so confident about it. I want you, in your next time when you speak, to address my issues, the points that I raised in Surah 65 verse 4, about the hadith, the authentic hadiths in the collection of Muslim, Bukhari, Sunnah and Nasai, about Aisha and her age and her immaturity. This is a serious issue. It's even happening in Islamic countries today. Child marriage is happening. There are many countries, many Islamic countries, for example, Yemen, which doesn't have a legal minimum age requirement for marriage. It's happening today, guys. And the way these Muslims are trying to get out of it is by saying, oh, what about? And even when they say what about, it's not even correct. I can't wait to go into the Bible with him and show him why he is wrong, completely wrong. But I want him to first deal with this, because there are people who don't know this in Islam. They've been misled. If you're proud of your religion, declare it openly. If there's child marriage or not, declare it openly. Don't be afraid. Let the people know. You're here to do dawah, right? Speak the truth. Speak the truth and let people know. Bro, my argument is this. I've made my claims. You haven't made any defense to any of them, so I must assume that they are true. I must assume that they are correct. If anyone made a claim to say that the Bible teaches child marriage, I'll be the first one to defend against that. He's not defending anything. He's doing what about this, what about that. I've got a minute left. Actually, let me actually read some material in this time. I'll go back, I'll remind him of what the early scholars said.
Reading Arabic.
Yeah. You can't even speak Arabic anyway. You can't even speak Arabic anyway, man. I read the Tafsir of Al-Jalalain. I've got 50 seconds. So this is referring to Surah 65 verse 4. So for those who say that child marriage is not taught in the Quran, it's also taught there. Here's the Tafsir. And as for those of your women who who no longer expect to menstruate, if you have any doubts about their waiting period, their prescribed waiting period shall be 3 months. And also for those who have not yet menstruated because of their young age. That's the reason. Their period shall be 3 months. Why is a child who has not menstruated required to observe an Iddah in the first place? Answer these questions.
Oh, that's great. Again, atheism.
You're better than that. You're better than that, Hamza.
You see,
Oh,
this is what
man.
No. This is what the Christians do. All of the Christians, they need the defense. Every single one of the Christians, they need defense. Okay?
Okay, I'm going to start.
Is that what we're doing? Are we jeering and booing? Is that what we're doing?
They're doing it because it's ridiculous.
Are we doing? No.
Let the crowd can do what they want.
The crowd is Christians.
The crowd can do what they want.
The crowd are Christians and they support you.
Oh, amen. What else am I going to support a Christian? He's going to offer you a debate.
You heard this, yeah?
Brother, please.
3 minutes.
He's gonna go.
I'm going to start now. Bismillah.
Okay, again, as I said, I'm not speaking to a Christian. He throws the Bible under the bus. He throws Christianity under the bus. He throws Jesus under the bus. He dealt with nothing that was mentioned. And the reason is because he may as well be cosplaying as a Christian when he's an atheist. Now, they're saying is whataboutism. We know what the topic of the debate was. Now he wants to run. He says, I can't wait to talk about this topic. Wait for what? The time is now. Talk about the topic. Do it. I mentioned numerous lines of argument. You didn't touch on a single one of them. In regards to the Prophet Muhammad's marriage, this was a marriage which took place when she was 9 years old. I know this. Aisha radiallahu anha, she says in the hadith that women reached the age, once they reached the age of 9, they were classed as women. There was no further education, there was no university, there was no workspace for women. You didn't know that. Why is it that Christians never launched this argument between the 20th and the 19th century? I challenge you to find one Christian that made this argument. Why? Because they were doing it. Your grandfathers were doing it. Your great-great-grandfathers were doing it. But will you call them whatever these names? No, you wouldn't. Oh, of course not, you wouldn't.
I definitely wouldn't.
And that means you're the product of that. You know what I mean? But anyway, sure. So again, I can only repeat the arguments. He never stressed a single one of them. I agree with him. I don't need to debate him. He's given the evidences that the Prophet Muhammad was married at the age of 9, Aisha, where the age that she said that they were women. You don't understand that? But you have to now agree when Jesus said, follow the Pharisees. And when the Pharisees say in the Torah that women at the age of 3 and 1 years old can have sex. You have to answer how Jesus came in the womb of a woman at the age of 12. You have to give me the example in the Justinian Code that women can get married at the age of 12. But you won't do it. You know why you won't do it? Because I'm not speaking to a Christian. I'm speaking to an atheist who is cosplaying as a Christian. Now, as for me and my traditions and Muslims, we know this is what happened. We know this is what happened in Islam. We know this is what happened in Judaism. And we know this happened in your religion. You're not supposed to interrupt me. And you won't admit it. You won't deny it. You won't affirm it. You will run away from it. You will throw Christianity, Jesus, and the Bible under the bus. And we're waiting for an actual reply. And you can have the rest of the time. But you haven't answered anything. I've answered all your points. I've affirmed what you said. What argument is that?
10 seconds.
You have no argument.
Okay.
Okay, give up your time.
So I think we can do a back and forth now.
I can put,
Yeah.
let's stick to 3 minutes.
No, because
No,
because there's I need to ask clarifying questions.
Then we
He
stick
ma-
to 3 minutes. You can't.
No,
make
let me.
that
Okay.
mistake.
All right. Cool. That's good.
Okay, now
It
is there
sounds
another-
like.
Well, how many
No, hold on.
Hold on 1 second. You get the time.
Let me
How many
continue.
rounds are we doing until we get my topic?
Well, your topic's going to be about child marriage in the Bible.
Don't tell me what my
No, that's
topic
what it's
is.
going to be.
See, no,
it's going to be that.
No,
it's going to be
you're
that.
doing it again.
I'll
Why
tell
are
you
you
why.
running?
I'll tell you
Why are
why.
you
I'll tell you why.
No, you
I'll tell you
chose
why.
the first one,
Oh, let's
and now
continue.
you're
Let's
choosing
continue.
the second
Let's
one.
continue.
Now you choose
Let's
the first.
No.
I would
Let me
choose one.
continue.
No.
Let me continue. Let me continue. Let me continue.
Don't run.
Let me continue.
Why are you running?
Let me continue, man.
The time hasn't
Do the
started.
timing.
The time hasn't started. We're
Yeah.
trying to establish now
Let me-
how many rounds.
Let me keep
you want.
flowing. Let me keep flowing. Let me keep flowing.
How many rounds?
Because he's just doing circle.
No, both of you have to agree. How many rounds?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you, but he's saying...
Let's do 2 more
just one
rounds.
answer. No, I don't need, unless you engage, I don't need that much. I just need you to conclude.
Let me.
Or engage with what I said.
We can just go back and forth at this point.
About what if we're not engaging?
Bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go back and forth. There's things that you've said. There's things that you've said. Wait, 1 second.
You're trying to make
Okay.
up the topic. You're
Bro,
making up
bro.
everything.
All right,
but
start
there's
my
no
time. Start my
negotiation.
time.
Okay, how many
2
rounds?
more rounds
How
at
many
least.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't need 2 more rounds.
say two
If
more
you
rounds,
feel
what
you
do
want
you
to
mean?
talk to your camera, you can do that.
I'm gonna say 2 more rounds.
You could do that.
2 more
rounds?
rounds.
Meaning that 2 slots and 2 slots.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
unless he engages.
Let me.
He doesn't agree. So we need to.
This is what I mean.
So we get down to 1 point.
No.
Let's end it here. If you're
Let's just have a back and forth, Hamza. Let's just have a quick back and forth, man.
how about one
Bro,
phrase, then a back and
let me just have a quick back and forth then.
No, because you're running from the
I'm
topic
not-
like you are.
I'm making the argument, bro.
Well, let me
How can you
speak.
say
It's okay.
no? You've just had your
I'm
you've just had your 3
I'm
minutes,
trying to be fair here, right? Both of you
Bro.
need to agree.
Who started?
If
You
I
started.
give you a second,
You
one
started,
more, and
right?
then back
I'm
and back.
making the argument.
You start. Look, engage
Yes.
with me. Calm down.
Yes,
calm
but this is
down.
ridiculous.
You start. Calm down. Control your emotions.
No,
you
no.
started the argument.
I'm not. I'm gonna. It's a serious topic. This is about child marriage in Islam. I care about these women who are being married at young ages.
Performative.
It's not performative. You're saying I'm being emotional. This is serious stuff happening right now. Seriously.
Calm down.
There are women who are being mistreated in Islam.
So you don't engage with the debate, and now you want.
And he says I'm being performative. Let me.
That's so fake, performative.
Going to end here because you two are not going to agree.
No, do you want to? No,
Let me explain. No, I will debate him on the. I'll debate him on the child marriage in the Bible. I will debate him on child marriage in the Bible. I will debate him on child marriage in the Bible.
You didn't answer a single question.
Since it's breaking down.
You didn't answer a single question.
Do it. I'll do it now.
No,
I'll do
but
it
you
now.
were meant to do
I'll do it
that.
now once this
You were meant to
conversation
do that.
concludes.
Okay, but are you?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Now,
But you have
stop
to let me.
performative.
One
Speak to me,
second.
speak to
No,
me.
Hamza,
Stop
seriously.
performative.
This is a very serious issue.
Okay,
Rayhan.
but if it's serious,
Rayhan,
Timothy,
listen to me.
speak to me.
Once again. Rayhan, listen to me, yeah? I'm
you
happy
have
to engage with him
with the points being
on
made.
the Bible.
No,
100%.
I made multiple
I
points.
can't address those
I
issues
told
now
him all of his
because it's
argument,
interfering with my
I agree
claim.
with. This is a hadith
You understand? My claim is about child marriage in Islam. I need to address that first.
I understand where you're coming
He's
from.
not an atheist.
But he has a right
hasn't
to
answered
speak about
anything.
anything.
Now I want
Yeah,
to
but he's
say,
not addressing
I
my
want to say
thing.
if he's not going to address the points, which is fine. it's
Yeah,
up to him.
I'll have you have a
Then-
separate discussion on it.
no,
where
it
you
was the
can
same
question
vote.
me on it.
That's only if
But
you.
he's being
changed
unreasonable.
it.
Joe,
So if he wants, he could do the
Bro.
next debate. He could do the next debate.
if
That's my topic.
we look, if we examine what he said in the last,
Give him the last 3 minutes.
if you
and then we
if
do
you
my topic.
if you exa- if we examine
You can address his camera and
if we examine what he said in the last 3 minutes that he,
So you address your cameras, I'll address my cameras.
bro, no,
And then we do, yeah. See, even your
like
guys said.
I want to talk to you about child marriage in the Bible.
You just had your chance to.
No, it's a different topic, brother. It's different.
no.
This is unreasonable.
I brought all
This is
those points.
unreasonable.
I
This is
brought all those
unreasonable.
points.
Take
He
him away
didn't
then. Take him away.
answer.
Take him away then. Take him away then. Take him away then.
I
I'm not
mentioned
interested.
about 2-3 times, yeah?
You can't
He's
make all
not
those
even
claims
trying
and not allow me to
negotiate. He's
defend
just
it.
gonna-
But it's out of his position.
This is
He's not
wrong.
trying to engage.
I'll be
He's not engaged.
completely
Why isn't he-
unreasonable when he questions me then.
Look, what's your
In the
name,
next
man?
debate, I'll be completely
Remember,
unreasonable.
look, he made his
In the next
argument.
debate, I'll be completely
That's
unreasonable.
his poor problem. That's how he framed the
I'll be
argument.
completely unreasonable.
Now he can't get upset. He lost. I made the points.
Joe, I'm gonna address the camera.
John, I brought up my points. He didn't deal with one.
Alright, we can do that.
Alright.
Not even saying
That's
that
what
he's
I
not
mean.
atheist. He didn't deal with one. Now
Hamza.
there's my point.
Hamza,
yeah?
go and pray.
If a
Hamza, go and
negotiation
pray.
is like you say something,
Hamza.
I say something. He's just going.
Hamza, go and pray. Hamza,
But
go and
that's not
pray.
fair.
Let him do
Hamza,
that
go and pray.
And then we come back and we speak about my project.
Hamza, go and pray.
Let me just
Go and pray.
finish with our cameras.
Let me say what I need to say, right? Where's our Christian cameras? First of all, you would have noticed in the last segment that he had, it sounded to me that he was making an admission that Islam teaches child marriage. And that's why he was saying, well, what about Judaism? What about Christianity? What about in the past it wasn't a problem? Of course it was, it always has been.
Argued from the point
Any generation, any people who have taught or practiced child marriage, I condemn. It's a sin. It's not something that comes from God. In the beginning, God said that He made them male and female, man and woman, not man and child.
But the reality is for the best
And I challenge him to debate me on the Bible. He said so many things wrong about Mary, about Rebecca. If he's bold enough and brave enough and not a coward, he'll come back to me and he'll debate me on this after he has his prayers. I've seen so many Muslims out there throwing out misinformation to distract people from the issues in Islam. Christianity and Judaism doesn't teach child marriage, but Islam does. Yeah, take away your camera, buddy. Take away your camera. Take away that Muslim camera. Right? Anyone who's analyzing what he said, he didn't deny anything that I said. He mentioned the hadith about Aisha saying that women at the age of 9, girls at the age of 9 are women. Show me that hadith and show me what you mean by women.
Again, he didn't answer.
She was a child at the age of 9. She was playing on swings. She was playing with dolls.
They would be allowed it though if not.
Let's compare Aisha's marriage to Rebecca's and let's see who looks like the woman. Let's see who looks like the woman. Right? I have no pleasure in talking about this topic because, one second, man, I'm wrapping up. I have no pleasure in talking about this topic. It's a very, very sad topic. But today it's actually happening in Islam and people need to know this. People need to know this. People say that she was 18, that she was 19, that she reached the age of maturity at 9. Nonsense, it's not there in the text. Also, I went to Surah 65 verse 4. I mentioned that children are required to observe the Iddah. Why? The Iddah is for marriage. It's only those who are married can observe it because it means that it's leading to a divorce. How can children observe the Iddah? It says, and for those who doubt, including those who have not menstruated as well, because of their young age. How much more evidence do you need, guys? The Torah, the Tanakh, the New Testament, the epistles of Paul, none of these teach child marriage. And I will defend that against anybody in this park who says otherwise, that says otherwise. He said that the Bible teaches child marriage. If he's brave enough, he will debate me on that next. He will debate me on that next. Anyway, I'm wrapping up. One second. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah. You know, I wasn't insulting, by the way.
No, I try not to as well.
Yeah. Let me shake your hand. Yeah. Respect. Yeah. Take care. Yeah.
What are we going to do next?
I want you to talk about the Bible, and I want you to talk about child marriage.
My topic now.
No, but you mentioned it. You mentioned it.
That's not fair.
That is fair. No, that is fair. You spent this whole time. There are Muslim viewers. There are Muslim viewers. And I'll treat you the same way. If he doesn't engage in the child marriage in the Bible, which doesn't exist, but that's his claim, why would I debate him? We spent about half an hour, 40 minutes talking about child marriage in Islam, and all he's doing is talking about. Yeah, well, he made some admissions. He made some admissions. But this is a serious topic. It's affecting children today. I need people to understand this. And it really pees me off because this is Islam. And people need to know that this is the truth in the religion. Anyway, I'm done, guys. I need to take a break. God bless you. And I'll see you soon. Pray for me. Yeah. God bless you guys. God bless you.